For some of us expectant and established moms, we may have experienced some changes in our hair during our pregnancies or after we had our babies. I know personally from my own experiences, my hair appeared fuller and thicker during my pregnancy, but also I noticed that my roots were stretched out in certain areas. It was a really confusing time that really had me thinking about what's going to happen a few weeks after the delivery when women start really shedding their hair. So I really wanted to share my experiences about these texture changes and also address an older video I made about my curl type. So stay tuned because I have a lot to say about this topic. Hey curl friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rochelle and this is Discocurlstv. If you're new here, welcome. My channel provides tips on how to care for your fine curly hair so that you feel empowered and supported to be the best version of yourself. So let's have a chat about hair texture in general. It naturally changes over the course of our life, right? Just look at a baby and how fine and silky their hair is when they're born. And then fast forward, maybe when they're 10 years old, their hair is much thicker, it's more dense, more coarse, and they have a full head of hair. Then let's say this is a woman at 25 years old and she's had highlights and bleach and relaxer and high tension hairstyles. All of those outside factors can really manipulate and change the hair texture as well, right? Hint, hint, I'm talking about myself. Then fast forward to somebody that's maybe in their 60s and 70s. You know, their density might be really low at that point and their texture just a lot finer. To me, that's just the evolution of hair changes. Whether you use chemicals or not, it's just naturally going to happen that way. But of course, we have other factors to incorporate like hormones and illnesses and medications. Those all can affect your hair texture as well. I've done makeup on a client that had bone straight hair at first, and then after she finished her chemo treatments, her hair was naturally curly. And I know that I have a subscriber here that has expressed that same experience. Puberty and menopause are contributors, and of course pregnancy. When you're pregnant, you have higher levels of estrogen, which will prolong the growth phase. So in turn, your hair might look a lot shinier and thicker and shed a lot less, but you might also experience some texture changes. Case in point, while my hair was thicker and longer, some areas up here were getting super wavy and then others were getting really tight along the hairline. I wasn't really used to it, but I just figured it was part of the pregnancy. But this is why I really want to address one of my older videos called What 3C Hair Looks Like. I really started second guessing myself after I read some of the comments, so I feel like I owe you all an apology. I made some mistakes on that video and I don't think I was clear on my explanations, so I just want to address it. I made that video when I was pregnant the last time, and I think that was my first mistake. At that time, I knew that I probably had more than one curl type, but I thought if I had to choose one, I was closer to a 3C. Part of my confusion stemmed from having multiple curl patterns, and to film that video while my hair was going through additional changes was a mistake. I also used an image from my thumbnail that incorporated some finger coils and my hair was stretched and fluffed, and it wasn't a really good representation of my hair in its natural state. I didn't use that image to dupe anybody, but I just didn't think it was that big of a deal if I used that particular image. I do believe in transparency, and the last thing I want to do is give you guys the wrong information. When I went to the Naturally Curly site to check out my curl type, I looked at the type 3 curlies, I looked at the 3B image, and I looked at the 3C image. I kind of thought I had a little bit of both, but I thought it looked more like 3C, so that's what I went with. What I really wish I just did was title the video differently and call it What Type 3 Hair Looks Like. I think also that video was made during a time where texture typing was a hot topic on YouTube, and it really upset a lot of people. So I just want to apologize and say that I don't consider myself a 3C anymore, but I just consider myself type 3 curly. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's go back to the original topic. So like I was saying, during my pregnancy, my roots were becoming a lot more wavy and I was also getting tighter curls around the hairline. A couple months after having my son and the shedding process began, which was to be expected and totally normal, I had heard through the grapevine that certain textures can become looser or curlier after having a baby and that it could be permanent or possibly temporary. But here I am 15 months later and I still have these stretched roots which feel kind of permanent. You guys have seen me do a lot of videos since my son is born about how to get my curls tight again, And you know, I just don't know what to expect anymore. This might be my new normal, and considering I'm having another baby, my hair might be even wavier after, or hopefully curlier, I don't know. But I could be like a type 2 wave with a mixture of type 3, who knows what it's gonna look like. It's kind of a scary thought not to know what to expect, but obviously my children are gonna be way more important than my curl type, and I will just learn to adapt to whatever changes come my way. I really hope this topic doesn't scare any expectant mothers, because everybody's experience is going to be different. I'm going to be 40 years old in a couple months, so my hair texture changes could be due to age and stress and God knows what else. Just know when that baby comes, hopefully you are not thinking about your hair, but you are thinking about your bundle of joy. I'd love to hear from you all about your experiences with hair texture changes, curl pattern changes during your pregnancy or after you had a baby down below in the comments. Sharing is caring, you know, so your comments might actually help comfort somebody going through these texture changes. If you're new to my Fine Curly crew, I'd love to have you subscribe so that you never miss another one of my videos, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you are properly notified of when I post new content. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.